Welcome on board Dream Cruises. This week, we'll be exploring the Mediterranean Sea on board one of the MSC line's greatest ships, the Magnifica. Opulence and splendor are the terms the MSC company rightly uses to describe this new deluxe addition into its fleet. During the course of the cruise, several unforgettable stopovers are planned. Bari in Italy, Rhodes in Greece, Alexandria in Egypt, Limassol in Cyprus, and Haifa in Israel. On board are 2,500 or so passengers eager to relax and enjoy every minute of this dream cruise through the Mediterranean. Pastoral countrysides, magical sunsets, and monuments straight out of history books are all on the program. But what makes this trip particularly unique is that of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, we'll be visiting 3, one of which is even still there to be admired. And so, it's on board this modern-day 8th wonder, the Magnifica, that the special adventure begins. Timeless design and advanced technology come together in the Magnifica from MSC Cruises. Truly a revolutionary liner, the ship offers the very latest in energy efficiency and environmental concern. The sun has just set, and in twilight's warm glow, the adventure on the Mediterranean begins. As the ship glides out of port, let's head over to the reception area for some basic information. Then, it's off to our rooms. The Magnifica offers several categories of accommodation. Among these are interior cabins with a large double bed, impeccable furnishings, and a corner office complete with shelving and accessories. The full bathroom has a shower instead of a tub. And handy soap and shampoo dispensers. The exterior cabins with balconies offer greater floor space than the interior ones. No feature has been overlooked in our quest to ensure that your week-long dream cruise is just that, a dream from start to finish, complete with flat-screen TV, featuring, among others, the MSC channel that posts all of the latest on the cruise's itinerary. Between the 2 noted room categories, exterior cabins are also available, with a porthole and a retractable bed, perfect for families. All closets have bathrobes hanging in them. There's a strong box in the armoire by the room's entrance, as well as a mini bar for those last-minute snacks or beverages. Now that the cruise has officially begun, with the ship heading towards its first destination, why not take a moment to head up to Deck 7 and visit the Olympiad Bar? As its name implies, the Olympiad is a sports bar where fans can follow all their favorite sports on one of the many giant screens. Excellent snacks are also available. This cold platter is a fine introduction to the food offered on board. The freshness of the ingredients is incomparable. Experienced cruise travelers agree, onboard meals are an important part of any cruise. The Magnifica's kitchen deserves the highest praise, treating onboard guests like royalty, while offering wonders for the eyes and palate. The sun is just peeking over the horizon. It's still early morning. With beautiful scenery all around, the setting is perfect. This morning, why not breakfast out on the room's balcony, coffee cup in hand, as we gaze towards the intriguing horizon and all its mysteries. The sun beams down, and the experience on this floating palace is a truly unforgettable one. As any traveler will tell you, a dream cruise isn't just about the stopovers ashore. It's also about 1,000 tiny magical moments on board getting there that remind us we've chosen the perfect way to travel. Breakfast finished, it's time to spend the morning exploring this amazing ship. On the 13th deck, there's the fitness center, as well as MSC's Aurea Spa. First, let's work up a sweat, then head off for a little world-class pampering. In the fitness center, guests can find everything they might need to stay in top shape. Today's a great day to work out. Even though the ship won't be stopping, it's traveling parallel to the scenic Greek coastline, which offers fitness buffs and couch potatoes alike a superb panoramic view. The training center features the very latest in high-tech gear. Along with more traditional equipment, fitness buffs can also reserve a personal trainer to oversee yoga or exercise sessions. Right beside the training center, MSC's Aurea Spa offers yet another dimension to this dream vacation. In a relaxing ambiance, it's time to offer both body and spirit a little well-deserved TLC. The spa features a broad range of health and beauty treatments, including over a dozen different massage techniques. Whichever one is ultimately chosen, guests are in expert massage therapist's hands, sure to leave them looking and feeling refreshed and youthful. The Precious Stones massage is among the most popular. Combined with high-quality oil, the stones greatly multiply the massage's benefits. After first working out, then letting a massage therapist work out any lingering muscular kinks, we recommend ending things off with some quality downtime in one of the spa's whirlpool baths. So sit back, relax, and just enjoy the pampering experience while taking in the breathtaking Greek coastline in the distance. Finally, a last stop in the spa is the comfortable love seat, where after working out and then relaxing a little, a cool drink to toast the good life seems like an ideal way to bring down the curtain. What a perfect day at sea it's been so far. Let's continue exploring the ship, heading over to the 13th deck, where the magnificent pools and whirlpool baths are located. Guests who want to just take things nice and easy in the water can choose between smaller whirlpool baths like those found in the spa, or the nearby larger-scale pools. In the case of uncertain weather, a third pool can be covered by a retractable roof. This area is often the site of some fun and rather unexpected moments. Today, one of the sous chefs is working on an ice sculpture for tonight's dinner as the amused crowd looks on. To start our evening off right, let's head to the rear of the ship on the 13th deck. We'll be dining at the chic and deservedly acclaimed Oasis restaurant. Rich desert colors form the palette of this superb restaurant's decor. The warm tones and inspired paintings echo the magical setting which gives the restaurant its name. An island of peace and tranquility in the middle of nowhere. The menu is Italian-inspired, but what has earned Oasis's world-class reputation is the presence of one of the true grand masters of Italian gastronomy, Chef Mauro Ulisassi. Ulisassi created the Oasis menu as a kind of parallel voyage, this one in quest of new and unexpected regional tastes. It goes without saying that such a superb restaurant requires a wine list of matching quality. Rest assured that the sommelier is always ready to suggest the perfect wine to accompany your meal. To fully appreciate its bouquet and body, the wine is placed in a carafe to better savor its subtle qualities. An evening at the Oasis restaurant is sure to be an unforgettable gastronomic experience. After sampling the world-renowned chef's fare, why not top things off by meeting the top of the ship's chain of command, the captain? Tonight is the captain's night. On decks 5, 6, and 7, all the bars and salons are offering a complimentary welcoming cocktail. It's the perfect opportunity to meet other passengers and raise a glass of good cheer with them. Next, let's move on to the entrance of the Royal Theatre in order to catch a memento of your meeting with the captain. The theatre's main entrance is located at the front of the ship, on Deck 6. A photographer is on hand to preserve the moment of guests meeting up with the evening's man of honor. Photos can be picked up anytime throughout the cruise just by heading up to the photo gallery on Deck 7 at the rear of the boat. The photo taken, let's continue on inside the theater. As on most cruises, Captain's Night is an established tradition as the highest-ranking officer introduces passengers to the rest of his crew.
Captain Giuseppe Maresca.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I wish you a warm welcome on board. Thank you for choosing the MSC Magnifica for your vacation. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, myths and poets, showtime!
After that, it's showtime. The immense Royal Theatre is a multi-purpose hall that seats up to 1,250. With its state-of-the-art equipment and facilities, the theater can and does present world-class concerts and musical reviews. Tonight, it's Jules Verne's Around the World in 80 Days, as interpreted by the Magnifica troupe. The curtain drops on Jules Verne's world tour, bringing us back to the present moment. Tomorrow, we'll be heading off on our own trip to the island of Rhodes.
I think that's an interesting thing.
This one piece will make 52 layers.
Watch on mobile devices or the big screen. All for free. No subscription required.
The first stopover will be on the island of Rhodes, the largest of the 160-island archipelago. To fully understand Rhodes and its special place in history, one has to dabble a little in Greek mythology. Long, long ago, or at least so the story goes, the gods of Olympus decided to divide up the various lands on Earth. As the dividing up was taking place, one of their number chanced to be absent, the sun god, Helios. At the time this was going on, however, the island of Rhodes was still hidden deep underwater, so no one even knew it existed. Then one fine day, as the island finally came up into view, it was given to Helios with Zeus's consent. Since that day, the sun god and his descendants have been considered as protectors of this superb Mediterranean island. Once there, visitors can choose one of several side trips to discover the island's many beauties and mysteries. Whichever option is chosen, the first stop will likely be where one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world once stood, the Colossus of Rhodes. In the port, 2 huge columns proudly face the sea. On one of these, we see the deer, symbol of the island. On the other, a stag. The pair have guarded the port's entrance for centuries, at the very point where the 6th wonder of the ancient world, the Colossus of Rhodes, was first built. History tells us that 65 years after it was erected, an earthquake destroyed the huge 32-meter-tall bronze statue. Today, the site of this sixth wonder has become a warm, friendly meeting point for cruise vacationers, locals, and fishermen. Leaving the port, another colossus awaits us. Only this one isn't a long-gone ancient mythical statue, but rather a real fortress facing the sea. The Palace of the Great Master is an enormous citadel built in the 14th century. Apart from serving as a place of last refuge for the population in times of enemy attack, the palace also served as headquarters for the era's rulers. These rulers oversaw the Knights of Rhodes, whose mission was to receive visiting pilgrims, assist them with their needs, and defend the territory against Muslim attack. They were, as such, both a religious and military order, with the Palace of the Great Master an imposing fortress that served effectively as a military obstacle and a powerful defensive point. Entry to the palace is through the main gate, located at the end of the Street of the Knights. This imposing gateway is flanked by two huge towers in the form of a horseshoe. The celebrated medieval street is lined with Gothic-style inns. Everywhere along the palace streets, as well as outside its wall, visitors come upon a great number of cats. These cats are neither strays nor wild. For centuries, they've just cohabited with locals in the area. These latter are said to like cats without really liking them, to care for them without really caring for them. Yet the cats have been here since pretty much forever and are likely to stay as long. The next destination is Lindos on the coast of Rhodes. Its setting, history, and architecture make it a truly important site. At first glance, this charming village seems to embody everything we associate with picture postcard Greece. The bright white houses clinging to the hillside seem almost too perfect to be inhabited, yet still vibrant with life. One of the quirks of this village, making it a particularly memorable visitor's destination, is that automobiles are strictly forbidden. The streets are narrow and winding, and the buildings have been built in great blocks. The little village of Lindos has become a veritable paradise for artists, writers, and musicians. Wandering the streets, one can almost sense the soul of these artists. Here and there, even the walls are like an open-air museum. Lindos is also considered an archaeological site. Visitors can see the magnificent Acropolis on a rocky mountain 125 meters up. From here, there's also a splendid view of the glorious limpid blue Mediterranean. Heading back towards our ship, visitors climb to the peak of Mount Smith, the highest point of the city of Rhodes. From here, the ruins of the Temple of Apollo can be seen. In ancient times, the temple was dedicated to Pythian Apollo, the city's protector. The inhabitants of Rhodes once held the document treaties they'd entered into with other states inside this temple. Today, the location is more about scenery than storage, offering an unforgettable view of the timeless city and its picturesque port. The stopover in Greece is drawing to a close, and passengers are due back on board by 2 p.m., where the ship raises anchor at 2:30. There's a long crossing ahead. The next stopover, Egypt, is 326 nautical miles, or roughly 600 kilometers away. Yet even on board, the charms of Greece still linger with us in the atrium. A group of musicians set the evening's perfect tone. At dinner time, as the captain guides our ship towards Alexandria, let's head on up to the Quattro Venti restaurant on the 6th deck. The Quattro Venti is one of the ship's 2 main restaurants. Given its superb food and well-deserved popularity, a reservation is an absolute must. The menu offers gastronomic delights that pride themselves on the highest quality ingredients. Dishes in the menu are classic traditional Mediterranean fare, yet every selection is prepared to the very highest standards. The second main restaurant on board is 1 floor lower on the 5th deck. The Adera also offers refined Mediterranean and international cuisine. A reservation is also highly recommended. In both restaurants, there's a clear Italian influence, with many Italian meats and fresh pasta dishes available. Today, Italy's superb gastronomy is center stage, but tomorrow, guests will be visiting another country, Egypt, and not just through its cuisine. The ship will soon be docking at Alexandria. Moving through the Mediterranean, our stopover today in Alexandria will let us explore the rich history of magnificent Egypt. It's around 7:45 a.m. as the sun rises on magical Alexandria. Founded in 331 BC, it was Egypt's first port. The many ships in the area still seem to be guided by that 7th wonder of the ancient world, the pharaohs of Alexandria, destroyed centuries ago by 2 earthquakes. The city of Alexandria is located to the west of the source of the Nile, facing the island of Pharos, where the celebrated lighthouse once stood. Today, the island and the continent are actually joined. In building a seawall into the harbor, the 2 land masses were united. It's actually because of this that we're able to dock here. As soon as passengers step onto land, a pharaoh greets them as a photographer preserves the moment of this special time in Egypt. Then it's off on an excursion to discover another wonder of the ancient world. In the history of humankind, there have only been 7 wonders of the ancient world, and Egypt is the only country that can boast having 2 of them within its borders. In addition to the Lighthouse of Alexandria, the second Egyptian wonder is among the world's most popular, perhaps not least because it's also the only one to have survived the ravages of time. We're talking, of course, of the Pyramids of Giza. The Egyptian pyramids are massive funeral monuments commemorating kings or queens. Cheops's Great Pyramid is the largest of them all, measuring over 146 meters tall. It bears the name of one of the country's most important pharaohs who ruled the land for almost 65 years. The second pyramid is that of Mycerinus, Cheops's grandson. His grave marker is considerably more modest than his grandfather's, 1/10 the size, in fact. The third pyramid is one of the most easily identifiable, even at a glance. Not, of course, by its shape. Pyramids obviously all pretty closely resemble one another, but by its well-known neighbor, the Sphinx. This pyramid is dedicated to the pharaoh Khafre, the son of Cheops. Even though it sometimes appears to be larger than his father's, that's only an illusion. In fact, it's 3 meters smaller. Directly in front of it is the celebrated Sphinx, which the Arabs call Abu al-Hol, the father of terror, considered by many archaeologists as the site's unofficial guardian. Legend as to how it lost part of its nose are many and varied. In the imaginary world of various 20th century authors, such fictional characters as Obelix and Scooby-Doo's pals are even among the culprits who gave the age-old statue an unexpected nose job. The stopover in Egypt is done, and then it's back on board the ship to share a pleasant evening among friends. Why not start things off with supper at the Oriental Plaza restaurant on Deck 7? The decor is magnificent. Even just being in such welcoming surroundings can't help but bring a smile to our lips. Honoring tradition, why not start things off with Chinese tea? Then let the gastronomic wonders begin. Each dish is a true masterpiece, both in terms of artistic presentation and the culinary excellence that plays on our palate. Freshness is, as always, a top priority, and chopstick expertise is advised. From the splendors of the Orient, let's head over to some Occidental games. On the same deck as the Oriental restaurant, we find the Atlantic City Casino, offering 600 square meters of games and gambling. With the recent popularity of Texas Hold'em and overnight millionaire world champion Jonathan Duhamel, it isn't surprising that poker has suddenly become among the world's most popular games. I hope Lady Luck is traveling with you. A dream cruise out in the middle of the ocean. What better opportunity to just let yourself go and have some fun? A table, a croupier, a stack of chips, and fine company. Sounds like the recipe for a winning evening. Though chance is a part of every hand, so is strategy, and it often takes a little of both to come out on top. Even blackjack or 21 requires a good dose of finesse and strategy. Stay zen, and you just might beat the smooth-handed croupier. Another popular casino game, one that requires less concentration, is roulette. Get out your lucky numbers, cross your fingers, and put your chips down in the right square to win the jackpot. If winnings have piled up by the end of the evening, or if you're just still feeling lucky, before calling it a night, why not challenge the casino's most formidable opponent? It may not take much strategy, but as in many things in life, luck always comes in handy. Think tonight's your night to beat the one-armed bandit? Back on board MSC's Magnifica, it's time to discover the treasures of the Mediterranean. Today's stopover is on the island of Cyprus. Passengers will be visiting Limassol, the second most important city on the island. But before heading off on our day's adventure ashore, some exciting reading can be found browsing the many newspapers and magazines available on board. If traveling as a family and parents want to head ashore without the kids for a change, they can take a few hours off and leave them safely behind at one of the onboard mini clubs, especially designed for just that, with moms and dads and kids all benefiting from a temporary break. Trained monitors can safely watch over your kids in a setting as exciting as any of the best summer camps. The Magnifica has one club designed with younger children from 3 to 6 in mind and a second one geared for 7 to 12-year-olds. And both have got pretty much anything their young guests might want. Styrofoam structures, puppets, all of the most popular board games. With the kids safe and busy having a great time, feel free to just relax and get ready for that next adventure as the ship smoothly docks at the port of Cyprus. Once on shore, there's the choice of several side trips. Today, we've decided to visit the Colossi Castle and the House of Ustolius. The Colossi Castle isn't far from Limassol. The fortress was built at the beginning of the 13th century and towers over the neighboring village. It was once of great military importance. The castle became the command post of the Knights of the Order of St. John of Jerusalem. Then it was later taken over by the Templars. Next stop is a visit to the ruins of the House of Ustolius, which began as a private villa. While it initially belonged to a wealthy family long ago, the villa ultimately became a public recreation and leisure center. One can still see traces of a bath's installation here, as well as superb mosaics on the floor. The mosaics represent birds, vegetation, and fish, showing the era's strong Christian influences. The most beautiful of the mosaics is that of a young woman holding in her right hand a ruler the exact length of a Roman foot. Before heading back to the ship, a quick skyward glance reveals a pair of multicolored forms. Two paragliders are treating themselves to a joyous bird's-eye view of the ruins below. A popular sport, in Cyprus, paragliding is one of the most exciting ways to discover the island coastline's rich beauty. Cyprus has, in all, over 700 kilometers of coastline, protected by headlands and deepwater bays. The length of many sections of the coast is covered with sandy beaches and hidden recesses. From high up, one can also see the magnificent cliffs that plunge straight into the sea, as well as the twisting roads that cars and coaches must follow in their quest to discover all of the beautiful island's hidden treasures. Back on the ship, there are still a few hours of daylight left for us to enjoy onboard activities. Why not try a quick adventure down Route 66? Route 66, in this case, is a fun bowling alley up on the 14th deck. Whether a beginner or an expert, what could be more exciting than bowling a few frames right smack in the middle of the Mediterranean? No need for special shoes. All that's required is a keen eye and a steady arm. Just a few meters away from the bowling lanes is an ultra-modern 4D film theater that offers you a chance to experience some truly amazing sights and sensations, all from the comfort of your theater seat. Magnifica's 4D cinema lets guests feel like they're actually a part of the scene you're watching. Thanks to a combination of state-of-the-art special effects and other elements flawlessly synchronized with the seating and the film, you're sure to experience a movie like you never have before. The seat follows the rail's twists and turns. Sheer entertainment. But this technology, as impressive as it is nothing compared to where guests will be heading tomorrow, visiting, among other places, the Sea of Galilee. Today's stopover brings us to northern Israel, to the city of Haifa, the capital of the northern part of the country. Haifa, Israel's third most important city, is considered to be among the most important port cities. It is common to see cruise ships like the Magnifica docked there, with passengers coming ashore to explore the beautiful country's many riches. Today, side trips offered include to Jerusalem, the Sea of Galilee, and Haifa Bay. We've chosen to visit Nazareth and Cana, the city known for its water being changed into wine. In world history, as well as the story of Christianity, Nazareth plays a key role. It's the city where Joseph and Mary brought up Jesus. For historians, it's also the city that reset the record of human endeavors at zero, with historical dates being divided into two groups, before Christ and after him, BC and AD. For Catholics, it's also, of course, the beginning of Christ's story. This tale starts off at the Basilica of the Annunciation, where Archangel Gabriel announced to the Virgin Mary that she was bearing a child. Over the course of time, the Basilica was to become one of the greatest churches of the Middle East, as well as one of Christianity's most holy places. The current basilica dates from fairly recently. It was inaugurated in 1964, but its foundations stand on another, far earlier church, and that, in turn, was built on the Annunciation Grotto, where Mary first heard her wondrous news. Right beside the basilica, we find something that is rather uniquely Nazareth. In the same corner of the city, in a single passing glance, you can see a mosque, a synagogue, and a church. Whether Catholic or not, the city of Nazareth has come over the years to be an important pilgrimage destination. Even if the only known story of the Son of God expressing anger was the one of him chasing merchants from the temple, with no small irony, wherever you go in town now, artisans have reproduced the image of Christ in countless variations on countless knickknacks, all of them for sale to tourists passing through. Sculptures, etchings, paintings, you can find them all in the streets of Nazareth. Our next stop will be the city of Cana, famous for the wedding celebration where Jesus performed his first miracle. The Catholic Church in Cana was built in the 17th century, after the Vatican recognized that the area was indeed the Holy One cited in the Bible. Jesus and his disciples had been invited to a wedding. By mid-evening, there was a shortage of wine. Jesus asked the waiters to fill 6 jugs with water and to bring them to the man in charge. When this man looked inside the jugs, the water had been changed into wine. Today in the city of Cana, there's never any shortage of wine. Next, let's head over to another important site in Catholic religion, the Sea of Galilee, which is also known as Lake Tiberias. This vast freshwater lake covers 160 square kilometers. It is bordered by, among other areas, the Golan Heights, a territory that belongs to Syria. Nearby, we can also see the city of Tiberias, the capital of Galilee. One of the most unique aspects of this lake is that it's located 200 meters below sea level. It is also known to be very rich in fish. It was here that, according to the Bible, Jesus did his miraculous fishing. The lake is significant for both Jews and Islamists as well, and it should be noted also for tourism, which may not be a religion, but is surely a blessing to the area, since deep-pocketed travelers come from near and far to admire the timeless, unspoiled setting. Back on the road, this time headed to where a large crowd once gathered, not far from the lake, the Mount of Beatitudes. As its name attests, the Mount of Beatitudes is the hillside on which Jesus gave his Sermon on the Mount. At the peak, one finds a Catholic chapel that was built by Franciscan sisters near the start of the Second World War, with support for the project coming from a rather unlikely source, dictator Benito Mussolini. Still around Tiberias Lake, let us follow the trail of some of the most important moments in Jesus' life in the Holy Land. Yardenit is the official site for Christian pilgrims celebrating baptisms. The area is located where the Jordan River flows from the Sea of Galilee, then pours into the Dead Sea. It was here that John the Baptist is believed to have baptized Jesus when he was 29 years old. Each year, more than 500,000 tourists visit Yardenit. It's also an ideal spot to just stop and gather your thoughts together for a moment in peace and serenity. Arrangements are also available for religious ceremonies on the banks of the River Jordan. The form of baptism practiced is by immersion. The initiate enters the water and is then completely submerged by the celebrant. For many Christians, this is indeed the trip of a lifetime. Back on board the ship, the scenery on the horizon is beautiful as the sun sets on Haifa. Tomorrow, another day awaits us. There are no stopovers on the program, so it's the perfect opportunity to spend the day at sea. It's already our last day of our cruise. No stopovers are planned for today, so let's take the opportunity to enjoy some of the many activities available on board our wonderful ship. Today, coffee will be just the right stimulant to keep us sharp and alert, as we don't want to miss a thing. What better way to start off a day than with a delicious cappuccino from the Topazio bar on the 6th deck? Let's then head over to the Tiger Bar, right near the Topazio. The Tiger Bar will be our headquarters for part of the day, since several activities are scheduled here. To start things off, the first event presented in the Tiger Bar is a demonstration of fruit and vegetable sculptures. Even if the activity might seem fairly mild at first, more and more people are intrigued by the artistry of cooking. Preparing a delicious meal is a talent surely worthy of nurturing, but a culinary masterpiece shouldn't only appeal to the palate. The look and presentation are important too. With a workshop like today's, you'll be on your way to creating meals that please the eyes as much as the taste buds. Now that we've learned about presenting dishes with a dash of artistic flair, let's move on to table settings and etiquette. Today's second activity will help out a great deal in this respect. Welcome to the How to Fold Napkins workshop. In all of the leading cooking and hotellery schools, almost as much importance is given to teaching how to effectively present a table as is to preparing the meal. Okay, so there's been sculpting and folding. Now it's time to just sit back and watch. After these presentations on the culinary arts, it's time for a fashion show, highlighting many of the clothes and accessories available at the ship's tax-free boutiques. The 30-minute show is the best way to shop without having to ever even leave your chair. At a single sitting, you'll get a good look at everything available in the boutiques. Enjoy the show. Our fashion show over. Why not stay on the same deck and head over to get in a little last-minute in-person shopping? The tax-free boutiques are only open when the ship is at sea, in international waters. That's why no tax is charged on any purchases made then. So why not take advantage of the opportunity to pick up a few souvenirs from your cruise, like high-quality clothing bearing the distinctive MSC Magnifica logo. Chanel No. 5 is among the many name brands to be found on the shelves of the tax-free zone. As with perfumes and fashion, the jewelry section of the boutique has its share of bargains and hidden treasures. Guests can find both name brands and exclusive original creations here. But the most popular counter in the tax-free zone is surely the one offering spirits and fine wine. Having partaken in some fine nectars during the course of the stopovers, well, what better time and place than now to stock up on a few at excellent prices? These tax-free boutiques are a great note to end your cruise on. Think of a visit there as the beginning of the end of this special trip. As this dream cruise draws to a close, the wonderful memories of it are sure to linger for a lifetime. Speaking of memories, for those who were photographed with the captain on the first night, don't forget to go pick up the photo at the gallery on the 7th deck. It's nearly the end of this cruise under the Mediterranean sun. Tomorrow, the MSC Magnifica will continue on exploring the oceans of the world and their many ports of call. Join us soon on another dream cruise.